Welcome to the Cybersecurity Competition Federation show. I'm Dan Manson. I teach computer information systems at Cal Poly Pomona and serve as principal investigator for a National Science Foundation grant to help form an umbrella organization over cybersecurity competitions. The Cybersecurity Competition Federation can support the development of skill at a large scale by bringing cybersecurity competitions under an umbrella organization, which will help players of all ages and skill levels identify a point of entry into a continuum of cybersecurity competition experiences. With a focus on communication and promotion, the CCF maintains the autonomy of competition creators, supports their business models, and does not interfere with their sponsorship or funding sources. This week, we have CyberFed coverage from CISSE, the Colloquium of Information System Security Educators, and 3CS, the Community College Cyber Summit. Both conferences bring together government, academic, and industry cybersecurity communities. We ask speakers and attendees at these conferences for their thoughts on the value of cybersecurity competitions and importance of a pathway.
New Mexico University in Ruidoso, we had about 4 or 5 students participate. We had 2 outstanding students. One student came out 98 in the bronze area, and Johnny, he ended up getting 18 internship offers and ended up going to Los Alamos Labs as an intern. And we had another student who was working in the help desk for HP in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and he was offered a job at State Farm Insurance in Dallas as a cybersecurity technician. And so the employers basically said the results of those students working with the NCL Cybersecurity Challenge made a difference in them electing to hire those students.
The reality that most of these companies have come to is that starting at middle school, this age is when most people are being influenced on that career path that I kind of like what I want to do. Okay, or this intrigues me, or this seems very interesting. I think a range or a competition is a great entry point for kids in middle school just to get a flavor of what is taking place, and you can make it fun because we all use gamification and stats and stuff to recognize each other.
What is the value of these competitions?
Wow, love that question. So from and Kathy, you can speak to the women's perspective, from the girls' perspective, again, early exposure. We're talking pipeline, right? If we're finding girls earlier that are interested, especially in cyber, that just opens up the pathway. Now they have a focus, for college, after college, mentor. Now they could get a mentor earlier to really help them focus and just be awesome by the time, when they turn 18, they're ready to go.
We need to work across academia and industry to create and work with that pipeline. Cyber Patriot is a great exercise to do that. What I've learned talking with other mentors who have helped is how realistic Cyber Patriot is to how systems and security administration happens out there in the real world. It's funny. Time and time again, I hear from a mentor say, "This is what I do in my day job," talking about Cyber Patriot, which is very comforting, knowing that the kids are doing what they need to do out in the real world.
One of my colleagues, and his son wants to use the iPad, and so he shoulder surfed him long enough that he figured out what the PIN code was for the iPad. He's 6 years old. I mean, they're already doing it. There's just no direction, and I think the more that can be harnessed and focused, the better. At DEF CON, there's actually now a whole track for kids.
We're a lot more alike than you think we are, right? And the reason why I go to conferences like this as well as conferences like DEF CON is because it's, I really think that, to understand or for these two groups to work together, you really have to kind of step into each other's shoes.
We are continuing our segment this week called Inside the Game. With me is Jason Pittman. Jason, welcome back.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, everybody.
Jason, what I heard from CISSE and 3CS is a consensus on the value of cybersecurity competitions and the need for a pathway beginning no later than middle school. The last two speakers, Joel Palmtag from SpaceX and Abe Chin from Tesla, talked about the need to connect the academic community with the DEF CON community. Can cybersecurity competitions help connect these two communities?
You know, I think they absolutely can. I don't think it's a mistake either that those two people represent very progressive companies, of course being part of the Elon Musk portfolio, that really have a pulse on the future of technology and how we interact with it. And not only that, but how do we get young people involved in STEM in a broad context, but cyber specifically?
I think getting the young people excited and motivated is a key because we have competition in their attention. You know, we've talked about how many gamers there are and how young they are and how much they do this. We talked about sports and how many kids play sports. Well, we have to make these cybersecurity competitions at least as appealing as gaming and sports. And we have to make it more of an experience that they're going to look forward to all their lives. Now, the DEF CON community, you know, they do get a little bit carried away sometimes, but they're the pros. You know, they are the professionals at doing competitions. And to me, middle school kids should find a way to look up to them, and the DEF CON community should find a way to provide a type of role model that's just as appealing as what we have in professional sports and professional gaming.
Yeah, I totally agree. We've talked before on the show about the concept of pathways, and a lot of the interview discussed pathways and priming young people to enter the field. And I think you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head, Dan. We have these two polar opposites of the same spectrum where you have the young, passionate kids that have no outlet for that. And now you have this other developed professional team like the DEF CON community that knows what to do with that passion now that they're older and experienced. So part of it is pathway, but I think the other part of it too is creating this bridge for passion between those communities.
One of the activities that DEF CON started a few years ago was DEF CON for Kids. So basically, from an 8-year-old on, you can be part of DEF CON through DEF CON for Kids. We'll be covering DEF CON for Kids and other activities, other competitions at DEF CON this year. It's really going to be fun to be there.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I've been following it closely. I have a good friend that brings his son every year. He's 14 now, and he's been doing it for 3 years straight. It's a phenomenal experience.
Great. Well, I had a call from Uncle Jimmy. And, you know, I tell you, Uncle Jimmy really is watching this show now, and he wants to be part of it. In fact, he's creating challenges, and we're going to start a new segment this week. We're going to call it Uncle Jimmy's Challenges of the Week.
Yeah, I heard about this, man. I don't know.
Welcome to the first Uncle Jimmy's Challenge of the Week. Jason, Uncle Jimmy is quite a character. You know, the way he talks to me, I don't know if he knows what he's doing or how much he really understands what we're doing, but it sure is fun.
Yeah, you know, I got a call from my Aunt Edith, and she was telling me about Uncle Jimmy went and got a laptop. I don't know how, because he's actually been banned from a lot of stores where he lives. I'm not going to get into that. And she's telling me about how he got this laptop. He made his own website now, and he's teaching himself Java so he can build these challenges. I don't know what he's up to.
Well, let's go to this website and let's see what he's put up there.
Yeah.
So we have, looks like an easy challenge. What is an easy challenge according to Uncle Jimmy?
You know, sometimes you can't understand what that guy's saying. As far as I can figure out, he wrote this program, he's posted it up for people to download and play with, and he wants them to solve the puzzle. And in a sense, what he's saying with this one, that I can tell, is he wants you to figure out how to log into the program. And if you log in, you'll get a secret key back. And then if you email him that key, he'll send you a prize kind of token so that you can enter a competition later on this time.
Okay, so this is a game that the audience can play.
Yeah.
And next week we will reveal the first ones to solve this challenge. And the way you can submit a challenge is through a Twitter handle?
Well, what Jimmy asked, as far as I can understand, is if you need help, if you need clues, tweet him, right? Because that way he can share it with everybody else. But if you solve the puzzle, email him. It's jimmy@unclejimmyschallenges.com. That's his email address. Listen, I don't even know how that guy can read email, but he's going to do it.
Okay. So We have an easy challenge. Do we have other challenges?
According to Aunt Edith, this guy's been creating challenges all day for like 4 weeks. So I think he has like a Santa bag full of challenges.
This will be fun. So next week, we'll reveal the answers to the challenge, and we'll say who submitted these challenges, who solved these challenges, Uncle Jimmy's Challenge, and the website again is
UncleJimmy'sChallenges.com.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Dan.
Next week, we'll provide an in-depth interview with the Women's Society of Cyberjutsu. If you have a competition you would like us to cover in a future show, please contact us at cyberfed.org. I'm Dan Manson. See you next week.